Hey, peace and good morning. Thanks for being here this morning. I had to unplug my other mic. So, the Bhagavad Gita, the Song of God, ancient text, probably the most revered text in India, in Hinduism, probably. Here's a quote for you. If you want to see the brave, look at those who can forgive. If you want to see the brave, look at those who can forgive. If you want to see the heroic, look at those who can love and return for hatred. If you want to see the heroic, look at those who can love and return for hatred. Love and return for hatred. Wow. Have you ever been hated? Really hated? Hated in a vitriolic, angry, abusive mm, way that someone would put you on the defense? They're attacking you. How can you love someone who hates you? How can you forgive someone who has wounded you? It's very, very difficult to do. We all know this. Every human being who strives for forgiveness, to give forgiveness, who strives to love, knows this dynamic. And as much as I try as a human being to overcome this, I'm not so good at it. How do I overcome this? How does one overcome this? There's always only one answer. It is the inward journey and the inward illumination. It is the awakening from the dream of the illusion, as the Buddhists call it, samsara, this hellscape that we live in. Beautiful hellscape, fun hellscape, but still filled with suffering, filled with people who might hate you. How do you overcome this? Where is the bravery in this? Where do you find the heroism in this for yourself? The only place I have ever found this is in my higher self, in my center of myself. It's no more do I put up a block and say, hey, stay away. Well, I do stay away from them. But if I can't stay from them, how do I still love them? I dive inside myself. I let myself become what I actually am. I let the divine, I let the Gita, I let the God, I let the divine self, Allah, I let that show me the way. And the way that it shows me is the elimination of myself. When there's nothing to push against, when there's no more place for them to hate me. Like if I have a wall up and they're hating me and I'm receiving this, well, then I'm hurt by this. But if I'm not there anymore, then it's easier to love. The higher self is not caught inside this world. And therefore, it has no reason to return hatred for hatred or grievance for or grudge for someone who's wounded you. Hard to do in the human form, much easier to do through the elimination of the egoic self. This is always the same answer. How do we learn to forgive? How do we learn to face those who hate us with love? We step aside. I step aside from myself again and again and again until it becomes who I am. And when it becomes who I am, it's because I become my higher self here in this world. I become something that it's hard to push against. I'm difficult to insult. I do get hurt, okay? There's no lie about that. I do get hurt. But I find that when I go inside myself into my place of peace, when I rest inside there, when I come back out again, inside this meditative state, when I come back out again, it's so much easier to see the other as myself, flawed and light. When I see the light inside myself, I see the light inside them. even those who hate me. And I've been hated. This is not theoretical for me. I've been hated. I've been attacked. All sorts of things like that. I'm sure you have too. When there's nothing to push against, it's much easier to forgive and to greet hatred with love. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Sachi. My wife and I are just over COVID, but happy to be back in Not Church. Welcome back, Kevin. All right, my friends, I hope that's a little helpful to you. It's always the same answer. I only have really one answer. The answer is always the divine. Rest in the peace of the divine and face the world with peace. That's why I keep going back to my well. I keep going back to my well. I go back to my well. I go back to my well. I dig my well deeper, breath by breath. It's my shovel. I dig my well deeper, and this is my pickaxe. I dig my well deeper, and I find inside of there the power not to hate because I live inside of love. To live inside of love, it's like when you, in the darkness, when you turn on the light, the darkness runs away, it fades away, it disappears. The same is true for love and hatred. You turn on the love tap inside yourself, and the hatred, you face hatred with love. That doesn't mean that you have to accept the bully or the narcissist or the sociopath or the psychopath in your life. You don't. But don't have to return hatred with hatred. You can return love to hatred and stay away and protect yourself. They're not mutually exclusive. All right. Good, Andrew. Thank you for saying so. Good morning, Maureen. All right. So the chat's over there. Say hi in the chat if you want to, like and subscribe and all that stuff. I'm going to pull out my mask here. I'm going to go back into my centering place, that place of my peace, that place, I almost knocked my water over. It's the place of my peace, the place of my centered self. It's my home. It's heaven within, from which all love arises. You know, I was talking to someone who told a story about the hatred her grandfather faced and how he lived with this equanimity and love and peace inside himself all the time. It's totally possible to live that way, to not have anything to push against, to not be able to be. It's not a defense, it's a passing through. It's like that martial art, Aikido, where you use the energy of the other to protect yourself without hurting them. You get out of the way. It's a practice of getting out of the way. All right, my friends, let's dive into our practice because that's what we're here for. The more I put on my mask for those of you who are joining this morning because of the lights. I like to minimize my exposure to the light while I'm meditating. I like to keep it silent if I can. I like to minimize my sensory perceptions. I keep my back straight, my feet are flat on the floor, my hands are in my lap. We begin with 3 ohms in order to center ourselves in our body. And today I'm going to do a little pranayama breath. I'm going to be forcing my breath up in the beginning of the practice and up and out and down and in. And I'm going to be using my diaphragm to push my breath up and pull my stomach to the back of my spine. On my exhale, just for a few breaths. Here we go. If your mind wanders, return to your chant. When your mind wanders, return to your chant. Push your exhale to your third eye. Listen to your breath. Thanks for being here this morning. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the peace that you helped me bring to myself today, and I hope you brought to yourself as well. Thank you, and peace to you all. Talk to you soon. Tomorrow, Tuesday morning, we have our 9 a.m. Zoom group. You can find the link at peterpanagore.love. We have a much deeper conversation. Yeah, too quick, Freetness. Yeah. Peace to you all. Peace be with you. See you soon.